Bewa, a Sunday Cameroons, Magambe, Banja Kilimio. But Domana Bewa, a Sunday Cameroons, Magaya, Banja Kilimio. Banja Kilimio, Banja Kilimio. Banja Kilimio, Banja Kilimio.
Amazonian, fellow brave warriors of this liberation movement. Accept greetings from me from this Wednesday Rebel Day. Today is Sunday, and it's Sunday, August 6th, and this is 2023. My people, today is going to be a very special and important broadcast. Special because I'm going to have with me in the studio some very brave ladies. There are three of them, and I say very brave ladies. These are young women who have put in their all to make sure that we will have a free homeland, that we will have a free Amazonia. We are going to be talking with these ladies today about the Southern Cameroons People's Conference that is upcoming. And this conference has been slated for October 5 to 8, 2023, and in Canada. I know you must already have seen the press release regarding this conference circulating here and there. And I know you have also already heard some audios and even video outings of some of the old demons that generally do everything to make sure that they disrupt every effort, every single effort meant to ensure that we hand to our people the freedom they seek, the freedom they deserve. But trust me, none of those kinds of actions are going to deter us from what we have determined to be the just and only course that we will take in this liberation movement. So, without much ado, I'm going to introduce my guests and then I'll come back to them pretty soon. So, on this set today, I have with me Jesse Itambi. Hey, Jess, can you hear me?
Yes, Jamie, I can hear you. Please confirm if you can hear me as well.
Sure, I can hear you so well. Jesse, good afternoon and welcome to this broadcast. Any quick word?
Thank you for having us on this platform today. As one of the women from Amazonia that are fighting for the freedom of our people, I think that the message that we have today is extremely important, that the continuous engagement that we've been carrying out and that will continue to carry out are of great importance. So it's awesome to see my sisters on the panel with me. And I'm hoping that the listeners and those that will have a chance to be with us today or later would um, understand the reason why we are having this discussion today and will come forth to participate and to ensure that it's a success for every single one of us and for Homeland. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jesse. I mean, it's my pleasure having you here. And I like that smile, even in the midst of all the difficulties that we are facing, we still need to keep smiling because
Yes,
we will be able to overcome those challenges by maintaining some very good, mental equilibrium. And so,
absolutely.
Eleanor, greetings to you. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Komajebi, for having us here. I'm doing good, especially having to come online and talk to our people as a woman who has been in this revolution for quite a while. In fact, since the beginning when it escalated. So, so thank you for having us. I think this is the chance for us to make our women, our fellow women, know that we need to have all hands on deck. Those that have pulled back for one reason or the other, or those that have been waiting, this is the time to either come back or to come as if this is your first time of coming, this is the time to do it. So stop sitting on the fence, join us. We are getting there. Thank you, Comrade JMA, for having us.
What a beautiful way of putting it. And again, like I said, I'm still enthused with all those beautiful smiles that I see. And now I need also to move quietly to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to meet, a very brave woman, one who doesn't sleep, she doesn't slumber, and who has the interest and the well-being of our refugees in Nigeria, especially at heart so much. So, Paulette Menjo, aka Mama Amber, how are we today?
Thanks for having me, Comrade John Akuru. I'm firing it up on all cylinders, as my very own will always say. And as an Amazonian woman, I think this is a time for all of us to come together to get this job done. As I can vividly explain here, an Amazonian woman is a beautiful picture of motherhood. And if one piece of the puzzle is missing, we can't get that beautiful picture. So I urge all my sisters, all my mothers of Amazonia, for us all to come as one and fasten our journey to Boya. So thanks for having me, and revolutionary greetings to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paulette, and I want to thank you all, those brave ladies. And if you are just joining us, you have just hooked in now to watch with us and to share this moment with us. I'd like you to share the link. Share the link as much as possible. Share it to friends, family, to fora, here and there, because we need our people to join this live broadcast and to ask questions, because midway through this program, I'm going to open the lines and we will take questions so that these smart young ladies here will address the various concerns that you have regarding this all important conference and regarding the need for us all to continue to rise as one man to ensure that we send the Republic of Cameroon packing out of our territory. Make no mistake, folks, it is, I've never at any moment dreamt that we are going to have it hitch free at any point in this liberation movement. We will always face obstacles. We will face opposition both from within and from without. We will see banana peelings on our path everywhere. But one thing we must continue to bear in mind: we will only succeed if we remain resolute. I have the habit of sharing some of those thoughts, that sometimes you need to learn to be quiet even when you have a lot to say. Those who come out, who prefer to come out and throw invectives, call names, insult, cast aspersions, promote conspiracy theories, you are not in any way promoting this liberation movement. If you are not willing to help us get La République, to join us, so together we get La République du Cameroon out of our land, you can also help us by simply being silent. Because there are moments when your silence will be a huge contribution. Instead of opening your mouth to say things that will break the tempo that our people have for this liberation movement. So before we really get into the beef of issues, let's enjoy this beautiful piece with our people from again for some 30 seconds. Okay? Stay on. Thank you very much to this beautiful group. I must assure you all, we're so proud of our culture. We're so proud of who we are. Always ready and willing to enjoy, the splendor of who we are as Amazonians. And don't forget, this has become our identity all over the world. It's true that La République du Cameroon, true to its nature, has been fighting tooth and nail to ensure that across the world they see this identity as their identity. We must continue to fight with all the energy we have to ensure that we take back what is ours and continue to show the pride we deserve to show in our culture. I'd like to acknowledge Sakwe Daniel. Sakwe, I'm delighted. Thank you. Good afternoon to you. Nkangwen Jackson Shu Tumbo, greetings to you. Meduke Forlan, oh my goodness, Forlan, it's really been a while. I hope you are doing great. And I extend my regards to the brave hearts in Kupemwanenguba, in Tombel. Tembon Eric Binda, you're welcome. Pen Emmanuel, greetings to you. Comfort Egbe, I'm extending hearty salutations to you all. As I said, share this link as much as possible because in the second half of this broadcast, we are going to take questions. We'll open the lines, and at that time, you use phone number 240-883-6443. 240-883-6443, and that is going to be WhatsApp only. So, yeah, WhatsApp means you can call on WhatsApp, okay? You can call on WhatsApp and you can also send your texts. I'll still get that, okay? So, let's go. We will begin this broadcast by, first of all, sharing this press release that came out somewhere last week. I invite Eleanor, if you are connected, I'd like you to present the first page of this release, and then I will come back to the second page of it, just so that at least you catch your breath. So, Eleanor, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you, Comrade.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Over to you.
Thank you. So, we have the Southern Cameroons People's Conference, SCPC, with the theme Southern Cameroons Stronger Together in Our Diversity. So, a joint communique by the Southern Cameroons People's Conference. The undersigned Southern Cameroons Ambazonian groups and organizations, conveners and affiliates of the All Ambazonian Conference AAC 2023, meeting in successive meetings in furtherance of our collective goal and the aspirations of the people of the Southern Cameroons, acknowledging that the fabric of our quest for justice and peace lies in our groupings and the strength of our various constituencies in ground zero and abroad, including our displaced people and those in jail whose liberties have been deprived. Cognizant of a call by Southern Cameroonians on the need for synergy and an inclusive approach to revitalizing our collective aspiration, the demands from a cross-section of our community, recognizing the convenance of the AAC 2023 and the endorsement from the Southern Cameroon Stakeholders Platform and the Southern Cameroons Alliance, recognizing the efforts of volunteers in coping with kidnappings and abuses of Southern Cameroonians, including engaging the diaspora to work together, and in this line, the efforts of activists advocating for a come together. Recognizing that the destiny of our homeland is in our hands and a demonstration of our collective commitment lies with us, Southern Cameroonians, including our ability to address our challenges and demonstrate self-reliance in the pursuit of our goal. Thanking the mother of Southern Cameroons, thanking the mother of Southern Cameroons, the MOFCS, the Southern Cameroons communities in Canada, South Africa, and Germany for accepting to join the conference and mobilize their country communities in furtherance of our collective goal to work together. Recognizing that the road to justice and peace and the preservation of our dignity requires the selfless commitment of all of us, including those who disagree with us. After profound considerations and deliberations, communicate as follows. Number one, the All Ambazonian Conference AAC 2023 will be renamed to the Southern Cameroons People's Conference, SCPC, under the theme Southern Cameroons stronger together in our diversity. As Southern Cameroonians, we acknowledge the deep historical ties with our forebears, our identity, and the dignity we enjoyed as the first democracy in Africa, as well as the need to avoid any ambiguity about the naming of the conference. The SCPC shall be held from October 5th to 8th, 2023. This is informed by the need to seek common ground with like minded actors and stakeholders. All these groups and relevant stakeholders within the Southern Cameroons community, including organized country delegations and constituencies. That means the IDPs, the refugees, and our comrades in prison. All of this shall have a place on the table for a robust and revamping discussion to shape our collective future.
Thank
I
you,
will leave Comrade Jemmy to
Eleanor. And
continue.
so the third point says the conference will define a new approach to seeking justice and peace for our people, develop an agreed unified position, and it will constitute several pre-conference activities, including developing working principles, reconciliation, thematic discussions, and trust building sessions to create a conducive environment that provides for honest and frank deliberations in furtherance of the legacy of our forebears and the attainment of our collective goal. We call on all Ground Zero volunteers and the Ground Zero United Front that are coming together is in response to your call. It is also for our children, our mothers, elderly on Ground Zero, Ground 1, and Ground 2, as well as for our brothers and sisters in jail and those that have gone before us in our quest for freedom. We cannot thank you enough for your sacrifices and your call that has made today's choice of working together a reality. We call on all leaders, groups, and constituencies to embrace collectivity, demonstrate ownership of the conference, and join hands to shape our collective future, find common grounds, and renew our commitment to the one goal that brings us all together: a free homeland that breeds justice, peace, and prosperity. As we put together our resources to meet in Canada, we call on all Southern Cameroonians to visit www.scpconference.com www.scpconference.com for more information. Should you need further information, please email info@scpconference.com. info@scpconference.com. And for more information, go to www.scpconference.com. So you now have the URL. You now know how how you can get much more information from this. And so, like I said, if you're just joining, do share. We are going to get now into the beef of this conversation. And so, Elena, I'm definitely going to begin with you. Sometimes we begin an initiative. We face some immediate challenges, and all we do is try as much as we can to overcome those challenges. I'm just seeing on the chat right now, I guess that is Rabbi George saying, great panelists, but it will be more inclusive if a balance from other areas are involved. I say, sir, come in peace. Eleanor, what is the level of inclusiveness that anyone should expect with respect to this conference?
Yes, thank you, Comrade Jeremy. That's a good question. What is the level of inclusiveness when it comes to this conference? At the very beginning, at the inception of the conference, there was this feeling, especially from many of our Amber brothers and sisters. There was a feeling of some people are being left out. Here we are on this show today to talk about the fact that women need to find their place women need to take their place in a conference like this. This is just about women. But from the time those that went to the Canada consultative talks, from the time they came back, they have been drumming the fact that this conference needs to be inclusive. What does that mean? Nobody will be left out. It is, if not the first, it is one of the very first conferences where everybody is being brought on board. When I talk of everybody, who do I mean? I mean the diaspora, right? The groups that make up the Southern Cameroons. We have people from the ground, meaning ground zero is invited, ground zero will be represented. We have refugees who will be represented. We have IDPs who will be represented. So, and we are also still doing outreaches to get everybody, every Southern Cameroonian who can be represented, to be represented. This is to say that the door is still very wide open and people are really, really requested to go to the website and register. So if there's anything about inclusiveness, I think this is one of the conferences where good faith has been really projected out there for everybody, each and every one of us, to be part of it because every voice counts. If you are a buyer and seller, I will not, for example, be able to articulate the problems that you have, the issues that you face in your own context. If now let me go back to the context of the women. As a woman, if we are not represented in this conference, resolutions that will be taken, maybe the men who are trying to take these resolutions, they will not be able to consider what we, the women, are going through. They can do everything in good faith, but nobody can tell my story more than me feeling the pain. So there are so many things that women, for example, would be able to articulate, would be able to push forward, because they are the ones that feel the pain. We are the ones that give birth to the children. I know this is not. I'm not undermining the work of the men, not at all. But I'm trying to say that only each individual can articulate what they need, and that is the exact reason why everybody needs to be represented. The refugees, the IDPs, the prisoners. That one is a bit complex, but yes, they are all included. Which group have I left out? This is just to say that the conference is as inclusive as it can be. But if there's somebody out there who feels that it is not yet, we've not made the best attempt, please share with us how you think we can be even more inclusive. That's the good thing about the planning of this one, of this conference. The doors are
Thank
still
you.
open for people to join,
Okay, thank you,
and let's share ideas.
Eleanor. Yes, Jesse, I know you were listening very keenly. One of the criticisms that I'm seeing here is even just about the I mean this panel, the composition of this panel, because the persons, I mean this other gentleman says that this panel could be more inclusive to include other areas from the other side. Can you speak to that, Jesse?
Well, that's interesting. I think that the comments came from Comrade Ravi, and I know that we're here to talk about the Southern Cameroon's People's Conference, right? Which is basically a conference for the people of Southern Cameroons. And every strong woman on this panel is an Amazonian, is from Southern Cameroon. So when we talk about other areas, I might try to guess what he means. Now, if you have listened to what Comrade Eleanor said, one of our greatest challenge is that we need women to come up and take their place. We have made several calls publicly, privately, for women to come up and take their place, to participate in these conversations, to be active, to take leadership positions. And often we know and we acknowledge the fact that it is a challenging thing to do for most women, but we keep encouraging them. So, Comrade Rabi, you do have a valid concern. However, that is also a concern to, I think, to every single Amazonian, including us, the women, to say that we do not have enough women that are showing their faces, that are active, that are participating in these conversations. So if you know of any woman that would love to be part of this conversation and is not included, because the call for this conference is a public one to every single Southern Cameroonian, every single Amazonian, please let us know. And we will happily invite them to the next discussion that we have, because this is not the last of it. This is just the first of it.
And
We
Jesse,
also
perhaps
do have,
it's important to note here that I mean this is
yes,
just the start of the communication and sensitization campaign, and
absolutely.
so there are a lot other people who will be appearing on panels to talk about this conference.
I totally agree. And the thing is, when you ask yourself why in the revolution, if you say you're in the revolution to free Amazonians, to free homeland, then it really doesn't matter what is happening. If it is going to be a plus to our people and move our revolution a step forward, then you would want to be part of it. And this is one of those conferences that is meant to move everybody forward. So irrespective of our individual reservations, of our individual beliefs, is this a good thing for our people, for homeland? If the answer is yes to you, then please come on board. Now, if the answer is no, please reach out and let us know why you think it is not a good thing. And I'm sure we'll be able to have a conversation and come to a common understanding. But this is something that is for us, every single Amazonian. And we are hoping that more ladies, after watching this, will want to participate in the next panel conversation that is led by women.
Yes, Colette Menjo, aka Mama Amba. I know that women are, drivers of collaboration for justice and peace. And I know you've been extremely active, especially with our refugees in Ground One. Now, talking about, driving collaboration for justice and peace. What exactly are you planning to do to ensure that we have all the I mean should I say all the strong voices in Amazonia recognize the need to come together and work together so that at the close of this conference we are able to change the dynamics on ground zero. Paulette?
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak once more, Comrade John Bakuru. Like you rightly say, haven't been in the corridors with our refugees, with our IDPs, and haven't journeyed with some of our Amazonian prisoners of conscience. I think the work is too much. There's a lot to be done, but those who are involved are very few. And I pledge on every Amazonian woman that each and every one of us have a role to play. We have a role to play. Should it means just taking time to reassure our refugees, or to counsel our Amazonian prisoners of conscience, or to reassure our IDPs of an eminent free homeland, is all. I think that one is really needed at the moment, and there's a lot to be done. And as we can see, when it comes to that point where we'll be sitting on the table to talk about how we are going to go our separate ways, in most conferences, when a woman starts to talk, the woman relates to the pain. Like when I sit here having journeyed with our refugees, as I speak now, a refugee is going without food. A refugee is homeless. As I speak now, an Amazonian prisoner of conscience is hungry, is sick, and my fellow Amazonian women, let us all come together and do this journey. And we are all important in this journey. Sitting here today with my three sisters, Eleanor and Jessie, how I wish we were like 10 of us in this panel, because I think we can make a panel of 10, 20. Please come on board. Let's have a discussion and fasten our journey to Boya, because the suffering of our people is just too much. It's just too much. And the more we linger in this fight, the more our people will suffer. And I just want to urge all the women of Ambazonia that we all have a role to play in this. Don't sit back, don't sit on the fence. Join us and let's journey together.
So, Colette,
Thank you.
Paulette, practically, as a community organizer and someone who generally likes, to get people together to get things done, what are you doing, like in terms of outreach, in terms of shopping for those who may still be skeptical, who are still dragging feet, or some who had done what we call backslided? What are you doing, and what do you recommend for those other willing souls that also want to help to do, so that we are able to get, I mean, all the very critical voices in Ambazonia to come together?
I always say I'm like the servant of the revolution. And if there's any sister or anybody or any group of persons out there who don't know how to go about to reach out to our refugees or to reach out to our IDPs or our Amazonian prisoners of conscience, I am just like an antenna, or I'll signpost you to the right direction. Or if I must be of service to you, I'm ready to do the journey. Like I said, there's a lot to be done, and every little helps. Every little helps. And I just beg on us all not to sit back. This is a journey that has to be completed. We have to get a free homeland and we have to go home. So please join the train and let's journey together, and reach out to myself, to Comrade Elena or Jesse, if you want to be signposted on where you can chip in something, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you very much, Eleanor. I'm coming back to you. I want to find out from you. Do you have the feeling that the Amazonian women are still as active as they were from the beginning? That our Amazonian women, whom we saw on September 22, 2017, lead the Takumba, that is the Takumba, lead millions of Amazonians onto the streets. Do you have the feeling that they have the same flair right now? And if that flair is not there, what do we need to do to rekindle that spirit in the Amazonian woman, so that they should be able to continue to drive this collaboration and bring everyone together?
Thank you, Comrade JB. You can see I'm already smiling because of your question. Yes, generally, those who have been very active in the revolution have, some of them have pulled back. It's not just about women. What we had in 2017 is not what we have today. And people have pulled back for different reasons. And we should be honest enough to accept the fact that some of the reasons have been caused by us. I'm saying this to say that there has been a lot of, let me call it the infighting. There's been a lot of deceit when we look at the fact that monies were collected for the struggle and was not used appropriately, or accountability was not given. That is a factor that discourages people, not only women. It's across the board that we have to establish, or that is a fact that we have established. So how do we go on from here? How do we change this narrative? How do we do the repairs? How do we do the damage control? I think we have a lot of education. We have to, or let me say, we have to first of all analyze all of these aspects that have led to the withdrawal of our people, both the women and the men. We have to analyze all of these aspects, then see how we can manage, or how we can improve, mitigate, so that people can start coming back slowly. If we sit here and think that there is a magic wand that will, we can strike and people just start flowing back, then we are just being very naive. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get the people back, and it starts with the few of us. Sorry for that. I don't know. The few of us who are left in here. And one thing that I would like to say is that this conference that is coming up is an opportunity for us to start rebuilding the confidence that has been lost. Um, I I know that some people have their reservations, but we have to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere. So, at a personal level, I see this conference as an opportunity for us to come back together, see how we can rebuild confidence, see how we can rebuild trust, see how we can, what putting our hands together can achieve. And only after something like this shall we start seeing the comrades who had left, maybe out of disappointment, maybe out of exhaustion of the due to the infighting, and other comrades who were maybe not yet on board will see that, oh, it means these people can actually do something good. It means these people can actually come together and do something as one people. Personally, I think that these are aspects that will encourage many people to come back on board.
Okay, thank you very much, Eleanor. Jesse, oh, somebody said Jesse who? Perhaps I did not say earlier that Jesse Itambi. I mean, they really want to get these details. Just you see that, and so Jesse, I just got Elena explained there that at least some degree of steam has fallen. But what would you say to some of the women out there whose voices you can already hear saying, "Oh, this looks like it's one more conference, too much. Do we really need it?" What will you say to them, Jesse?
Um, so that's interesting because yes, we really do have been having quite a few conferences over the past couple of years, but you know there is a saying that, like Eleanor says, we don't have any magic wand, right? So we will need to keep working at this until we find a solution that works, a solution that is doable, a solution that's acceptable across the board. And if you believe that as Southern Cameroonians, we do need to meet in a conference and have a conversation, take stock of what has happened, make sure it doesn't happen again, and actually craft a path for a way forward, then this is where you want to be. We want to reset the revolution. And not just because we have had some challenges in the past, but because this is a necessary thing that every organization, every revolution gets to do every now and then. Every now and then, you need to come, you assess where you are, you assess where you want to go, you assess what you want to do, and you re strategize, you reset. And that is why we are doing this. Now, it is not, yes, it is another conference, but how else should we do this? We have tried different ways of doing this. We've had webinars online, and because of the apathy that we face, the fact that people are so conflicted with where some people are conflicted with where the revolution is heading, it simply means that we do need to come together and face some hard facts and craft a path forward. Now, there is a saying that you can take someone out of the revolution, but you can never take the revolution out of that person. What I'm simply saying by that is that in every single revolution, there are different personalities that are involved. Now, these different personalities have different agendas. For the past 7 years, or for the past 7 years, yes, more or less, we have seen different personalities and different agendas at play. We have learned our lessons. And no matter what happens, the true revolutionaries will prevail. That is how it works. That is how it has always been in every revolution. So we're not a unique case. Yes, but we definitely could have done way much better than we have done as a people. As resourceful as we are, we definitely should have done much better. But here we are today because we are that resilient and we're that resourceful, and we're saying that we need to reset this, and we need to reset this in a conference that is for the people and by the people, organized and sponsored and held by the people for themselves. So, how else do we get to reset this? Yes, it is another conference, but it is a conference that is much needed for reset. And women that have apathy over the past few years, Eleanor has explained we all have had challenges. Um, but the question you should ask yourself is, what is the future for Ambazonians if you stay behind? What is the future of those that are imprisoned if you stay behind? What becomes of the families of those that have lost their lives? Why have those that have lost their lives already lost their lives? Do we then disappear as a people from the face of the earth, or do we come reset this and make sure that we guarantee a future for our future generations? That's the question. The question is not about whether it is another conference. The question is about whether we do need to do this to ensure and guarantee a future for future generations of Amazonians. Because we will have to keep doing this. We might not get it right today, but we'll need to keep doing everything that we have to do as a people until we get it right. And there is no other way to it. That's how revolutions go.
Well, thank you very much, Jesse. I guess that there is absolutely something out there that continues to drive the division that we have been experiencing in this liberation movement. And I think it is important for us at some point to stop, quickly take a quick look at some of those drivers of, the division that we have become victims of in this liberation movement, and espouse some few comments. So let's take a quick look at, let's listen quite briefly to some of the things that the Archbishop Andrew Nkia says in this outing that has made rounds on social media, and I'll come back to you all.
Centralization process and the process of the independence or the autonomy of the regions has to be hastened. We are doing a lot of talking and very little is happening practically. The regions should be empowered and the regions should be able to take their own development into their hands. Then this problem will take a different dimension. This is the fruit of the dialogue. Okay. And so we cannot say nothing happened in the dialogue. And I want this history to pass very clearly how special status came about. Because of the disagreement that occurred in the hall between Northwest and Southwest. This is how we quarreled in the hall. It was a very big quarrel. Since I am a man of many worlds, I unfortunately found myself between the Northwest parliamentarians and the Southwest parliamentarians. So I was the one who was almost dividing the fight in the hall with Bishop George Nko. This is a reality. So people just come and enter the story in chapter 3. They don't understand how it came about. And this is what I want our televiewers to understand.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Grace. At least now we have an understanding.
Now, we had this somewhere in the middle. I think the producer did not kind of, target exactly where I wanted us to begin from. But I'd like to go back to the beginning now for a few seconds only, because this is central to the efforts that we put together as a people to ensure that we deliver freedom to the people of Ambazonia. The aspirations of our people for freedom, for total freedom, absolute independence, are so strong that we need to be able to continually identify the old demons that are determined to keep us in slavery and servitude. Let's go back to that video and get the first lines of Archbishop Andrew Nkia, then we'll come back to it.
You were seen in several occasions advocating for peace. You also led the caravan.
I did a 2-hour interview with Radio Evangelium of Manfe to explain to the people what had happened in dialogue. What happened? When we went in for a grand dialogue, I must be clear to you, the bishops of this province had already put out a memorandum to the Prime Minister in preparation for the dialogue to stand for federation. We said federation. And this is how we went into the dialogue. Now, this is what I want to explain to your televiewers. Right. When we went into that dialogue and we started talking, this was still the opening of the dialogue. It was Chief, the late von Mukete, who got up and he made an analysis. All the videos are still there. Von Mukete started by saying that the position of the Southwest was that they don't want to have anything to do with the Northwest. And that if they are talking about federation, the Southwest position was that they didn't want any federation as long as that would have them to do with the Northwest. We're all in it hall. And
So I want to leave it right there because I guess that, the bubble is burst right there. Let me begin with you, Jesse Itambi. You listened to Archbishop Nkia, and he's talking here about the activities of politicians, a lot of whom have their future behind them. The key protagonist they mentioned there is already even in the world beyond. That's someone who was already over 100 years. Now, when you have this kind of people, spend time trying to place a wedge, first of all, among the people of Ambazonia. Does that make our task any easier?
No, it doesn't. To be honest with you, any attempt to put a wedge between us doesn't help. Now, late Chief Mokete was simply playing by La Republique's rulebook. It's called Divide and Conquer. Because we all know that the people of Ambazonia, there was no Northwest and Southwest. We were the Southern Cameroons. Now, La Republique did what it did and had these two regions. However, they also know, and the Republic has played this over and over, that the only way they can make sure that we are not united 100% and regain what is ours is to ensure that we keep butting heads as though we were two different people. We are not. We are basically the same people, the same region. And yes, we do have tribes. That's what we are. The entire Africa has tribes. That does not make us different people. We are the same people from Southern Cameroons. We have the same culture. We have the same belief system. We have the same culture and way of thinking. So yes, there have been those attempts. Yes, he might have been 100 years old, but you also know that these people would use their last breath to protect the regime in Yaoundé, either for their own benefit to safeguard whatever assets they have acquired as a result with this of their liaison with this regime, or for the benefit of their future generations, direct future generations, not Amazonian generations, but their direct family generations. This is an old man who is fighting for the protection or what he thinks is the protection and survival of his immediate family. And so I think that things like that should not really deter us. There are always going to be people within who would work with the enemy to ensure that we do not have our independence. We've seen that time and time again. Politicians are just that, they are just pawns, especially those that have no voice and have never really given anything back to showcase why they're politicians in the first place. They are simply pawns for the government to use as they see please. We cannot allow our future to be derailed or to be wounded by words of pawns that are working for the oppressor. And we still do have some of those in-house. And I think that when we identify them, we should be able to communicate that. The last thing you want to do is protect an enemy within. And so when you um, kind of identify an enemy within that is representing and working for the oppressor, you want to expose that so that these enemies don't go deceiving more people that want their freedom. And I think that's the kind of thing we have to do. For a long time, we've tried to be very kind, to not expose people who are working directly with the enemy. But if you really want your freedom, you cannot be hiding enemies in your own house. And I think that just like Chief Mokete was outed, we have to start outing enemies that we identify within ourselves. Otherwise, there is nothing we will do that Yaoundé will not have a counter for it because they will have the information before we do it. So I
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Jesse, for that perspective. And I guess I should say that's absolutely, that seems to me too absolutely the way to go, because for a long time we have pampered some of these thoughts from some of these people, thinking that this kind of thoughts may just one day disappear. But like you pointed out, we are dealing here with an enemy that is so renowned, basically with respect to divide and rule. That is their spot of predilection. So, Paulette, what is your take on what you heard from Archbishop Kia?
Yeah, thank you, Joma Akuru, for giving me the chance to talk. The more I listen to Archbishop, the more I get angry as an Amazonian mother because I imagine if they went into that room as one people, where we would be today. Yes, La Republique will do everything to succeed in its divide and rule tactics, and a lot is going on out there. I vividly remember, I think a few days ago, I met one, I'll say one brother of ours who has a different idea of what the war is all about. He might have listened to this paid agent of La Republique telling them that our fight is a clan fight, and he took upon himself to believe in that. So I'll urge all Ambazonians of goodwill to continue educating our people out there, like trying to sensitize our people to know the reason why we're fighting and to let them know that we are one people. From Bamenda, Boya, we're one people. So we have to take a step faster to La Republique for them not to intoxicate our people with negative ideas. So we need to keep educating our people out there and be bold enough to tell people to their faces when we realize they are paid agents of La Republique, or to get them out of our midst, because the enemy from within is more dangerous than the enemy from without. So we need to keep being alert, focused, and vigilant, and get rid of these remnants of paid La Republique agents that are still among us, so we can concentrate and finalize this nasty war.
Yes, Elena, I know you have been a very keen advocate of, togetherness. I know you have gone to some lands sometimes to, reach out even to people who, who may, I mean, at some points not really want to pay attention to what you are saying. But I want you to look at this from this perspective. Do people, the likes of Mfon Mukete, speak for you? Do they speak for anyone in Amazonia?
Um, Thank you, Jeremy, for that question. And that is what I was actually going to ask. To say that what we are even discussing here, how does that concern us? Like, seriously, how does it concern us Amazonians? Good. The people that have been or that had that conversation, right? Those are La Republique slaves. Okay. They were not speaking for Ambazonia. They were that was an issue between La Republique and La Republique slaves. That is how I see it. So it should not even concern us here. Now, um, the senators and the elites, MPs were the ones that were having this issue with the government. Are they part of us? They were part of us. They will not be MPs. They will not be slaves to La
Don't know
Republique.
that.
So, so whatever they were discussing there, they were discussing on their behalf, and they were not discussing. They were not discussing the conflict itself, because if they were actually for this conference, the many things that happened after that so-called that monologue that happened, those many things would not have happened. Did the killing stop of our people after that monologue? Did the atrocities stop? Did the burning stop? So they were not there for Ambazonians. Those were people who went there for their stomach. Unfortunately, they are the ones that unfortunately they also come from the southern Cameroons, making it look like they were talking for us. So we need to be able to distinguish who is talking. If if a La Republique slave is talking, how should we even why would we even think for 1 second that they would consider what the people are going through as an issue? They went there to probably, I don't know how to put it, but they went there for their personal business. They were not there for us. Otherwise, you would even see a statement to say stop the killing.
to get
So that is my
envelopes.
own perspective. I don't know if I answered your question, but I really needed to say this.
Okay, I want to toast this up here now for anyone to pick up this question. I have this question from the audience from Ajam. I say Ajam Sonic. He says, "What is it about this upcoming SCPC conference that makes it unique and a must for Southern Cameroonians or Ambazonians to attend?" Who is picking up first?
I
Satoso.
could take it, and then the ladies
Okay,
can join.
go first.
Um, I think that for the past 6 to 7 years, we have learned some really valuable lessons as a people, how to work together, what our differences are, how to navigate some of these challenges. And we have seen some synergy come across the line um, on the things that we want to do as a people on the way forward. Now, an example is this: the exploratory talks that happened in Canada. We saw a united front
Yeah.
of Ambazonia that we had not seen in a long time. And that what that did was that it told us of the untapped possibilities that we have as a people, which we might not have exploited to the maximum before, but which, if given the chance, the correct environment, and the correct temperature, will be able to achieve. And so following that success, in the sense that we came together as one, we spoke as one, and we had our ducks in a row. Following that success, it then made sense that a conference should then follow, where every single Southern Cameroonian can participate as one of the people, as a citizen of Ambazonia, to ensure that we continue with this same spirit, that we, in the spirit of collaboration, working together, of synergy, of just aligning our goals and our strategies as we see fit. The other thing that makes this really, and it's because of that that you can see so many people are on board with this conference. The other thing is that I know that in this conference there's a deliberate, intentional effort to make sure that women get the most participation than they've ever had. The reason for this is because, I mean, look at it. I think we probably constitute more than 51% of the population, and yet we are always mostly underrepresented when it matters. So this conference is very intentional about changing that. And this is a message to all women to say, if you've been having challenges and you've taken some time off, this is a time to come back. This is a time to come back and fight for homeland. If you've never done it, this is where you want to be. And you don't have to be in front of the camera. You can fight however you want to fight. Just layers up and see how you can help. You don't have to be on panel shows. You can work in the background if that's what works for you. But this is one of those conferences where, as women, we're going to be taking our place, and we're going to be taking that place not just for the sake of the conference, but we'll be taking it and holding on to it. So I think that makes it really awesome. We also have the Amazonian youth who are going to be heavily represented in that conference, and I think that it is just beautiful to see that we're getting this gender and generational balance in our in our decision making, in our strategizing and alignment of goals, which is really awesome. So I think Eleanor and Mama Amba can add to those.
Yes, Eleanor.
Um, yes. I was so keen to listening to Jess that I lost my focus. Um, Comrade Jeremy, can you please repeat your question? Let me pick it back from there. See, Jess, where's Comrade Jeremy?
So
Jess, what?
the question was, what makes the Southern Cameroons People's
Okay,
Conference a
yeah,
unique one?
yes. What makes the conference a
Why is
unique
it a
one?
must
I think,
attend?
uh, and yes, and I think I stated it from the very beginning, from the with the first question that Comrade Jeremy asked, where I said this is the only conference where I have seen that everybody is being represented. That means from the um, refugee to the ITP to the APOX to
The
now we are
youth.
advocating for more women,
Yeah.
right? For the women to find their place, the diaspora. So Why not? What stops us from getting all the other whoever we've not considered in this constellation? Just to say that it is the conference, it is a must be because it is the only conference that has been able to open up to everybody and not
Yeah.
just opening up and making all the efforts to get everybody on board. Outreaches are still being done. Yeah. So personally, to me, that is a very good reason to be part of it.
Yeah, Paulette, what is your perspective to this?
Uh, Thank you once more, Jamie. Actually, haven't scrolled through the registration process. I think it's a very inclusive conference and it's open up to all Ambazonians. So, my fellow Ambazonians, why can we not give it a challenge and register and attend this conference? Hopefully, there's no cap capacity to the attendance of this conference, that millions of us could find ourselves in Canada to sit and look into each other's eyeball to eyeball and ask questions and get answers where we need them. So the conference is open to everyone. Get on the website and register, and we'll meet you all in Canada. So I think we should be there. I-
You muted.
Jamie, we cannot hear you. Jamie,
Ooh,
I
was
don't
I
think he can
muted?
hear us.
Oh,
Okay, that's fine. Jamie, um,
Uh,
Oh my goodness. I guess I was talking to
what?
myself here.
Yes, you have.
Thank you, Jess, for that heads on. Oh
you're
Lord, yeah, I
welcome.
was actually talking to myself. I was on the technical issue, but thank God the technical department really got that fixed quickly. So I was saying that we are opening the lines right now, and you can call to participate, and that will be on 240-883-6443, and that will be WhatsApp only. If you are calling from ground one, ground two, ground zero, it will be +1 240-883-6443, and you'll be right live on this program. So to everyone here, I mean, who is allowed or is invited to participate at this conference? Let's begin with you, Paulette.
Everyone, your uncles, aunties, yourself, your sons, your daughters, your spouses,
Your neighbors
as long
included.
as there's yes, as long as there's Southern Cameroonians, please. I think that there is a plan to make this also partially virtually available. So I think those communications will go on soon enough. But this is a conference for every single person who identifies themselves and believe that they are Southern Cameroonians and really want um, a future for Southern Cameroons. So every single one of us, we don't, at this point, it is not about what you believe. Are you a Southern Cameroonian? If the answer is yes, then register for the conference and let's have a conversation.
Yes, okay, we have a caller on the line. Let's take this call, then we can continue. Yes, this should be Barrister Ninkov. You're calling from, is it Belgium or the Netherlands? Hello, Barrister.
No, this is Confongebe is really my name, and although I'm popularly known as Maitre Nikon from the Netherlands. So I want first and foremost to thank you, Comrade John Bakuro, for always being very, 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 very pragmatic and serving our people. And to the ladies, I start from Lady Eleanor. I know you are in Germany somewhere. I read about you, I follow you somehow. I don't know exactly where you are, but I suspect you are in Germany. Thank you very much for all of your effort, your sacrifice and service. Plus, Comrade JC, I don't want to go into details of how much people have been doing for, especially Mama Ambazonia. I see what they are doing in Nigeria, and I see how our people are so satisfied with what they are doing. Courage to all of you. And I want to say, you ladies are assets to Amazonia. So I challenge you to put more effort and bring aboard more ladies, because to an extent, I don't think some of the Amazonian women have not really demonstrated that they feel the pains of all those who have died. It's like they're standing by and watching the few that are putting effort. Only maybe to come and start forward and say thank you, Mama, for doing that. Bring them aboard, please. Let's move this liberation fight to the finishing end, and then we go home. I thank you very much. And yes, it's good. I was about to ask him why not this conference on European soil, but since it's just the first coming in Canada, we let everybody put their hands on board and then make it a success. So I thank you all. And then coming to the, I saw you dwelling so much time on Bishop Zeta Achin Kiao. These are commercial agents of the Republic of Cameroon. All of this type of people, they don't listen to themselves. Sometimes you wonder if they went to school or they passed through the school when you hear them talk. Because it's like, they just like to hear the sound of their voice, and then the audience clap unto them, and then they get some applause, and then their pay increases from their master. Please, let's ignore this type of people and focus on the goal. I thank you. He's not alone. There are a lot of them. But we, Ambazonia, we know what we want, we know where we are going, and we will get there. Thank you all very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Comrade Ninkov. You're calling there from Belgium, or you said from the Netherlands. I guess I was a bit distracted to note the name of the place. And thank you for your comment. Now, I have this question here. It's a remark also from the audience, Beauty J. That is her name that she's put here, Beauty J. She says, we are at a point where we need to build back trust, momentum, spirit of collaboration, focus on Ambazonia. The Southern Cameroons People's Conference is where to start from beginning with, joining the organizing committee. So this is, this is also another comment about the rebuilding of trust and confidence. I'd like you to speak to that, Eleanor. What efforts are you all, these ladies on the front lines, putting in to ensure that a lot more other ladies who had maybe, cooled off or stepped behind should come back to the fold?
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Jeremy. What are we doing to make sure more women come on board? This outing that we have right now is one of them. We are not just sitting here to talk about the conference, we are sitting here to talk about the importance of many more women coming on board. Imagine you ladies out there, you don't want to participate. We go to the conference, take decisions that you do not like. You would be forced to adhere to those decisions. Whereas, if you had made your voice heard, if you had added your voice for us to get a better decision, we would all profit from that. So this is the beginning of, or this is part of us asking the women to join. In fact, asking everybody to join. We are hoping that with our voices today here, we will be able to encourage more women to join the train. Now, it's not only going to end here. We have activities that we will be carrying out, outreaches, even to individual women that we have. And this is not the last outing we are doing. This is just the beginning. I think Jess already mentioned that. So such outings are also there to encourage more women to say that, see, yes, we know you're disappointed. Yes, we know you're exhausted. Yes, we know that things have happened. But do we just drop everything and surrender? When we know it is not even an option. So this is the beginning, or this is one of the activities that we carry out to also encourage more women, more people to join us. And we have the appeal that open your minds, be open to our outreaches, be open to our calls, despite all the disappointments, despite the fact that the conflict is taking longer than many of us anticipated. But bear in mind that we cannot drop it here. We only have a one-way street. So we will get there. It's going to take its time, but bear with us. If you join us to push it, we will get there faster than if only the few of us are pushing it.
Yes, Paulette, your perspective on that?
Yeah, I'll also urge everybody, all Ambazonians, to get on the website and register for the conference. We need to get people registering for for the conference, for logistics, and hopefully for our Ambazonians based in Canada to get things ready how they're gonna host us. So I urge all Ambazonians, women of Ambazonia, brothers and sisters, to get on the website and register and be part of this conference. We need to keep pushing. So this conference is an opportunity for us to meet face to face and try to see where we've gone wrong and how we can get things better rolling for an eminent free homeland. So we all start to enjoy our free homeland soon. So please get on the website and register. Thank you.
Yes, before I get to Jesse, there's this comment from the audience, Anita Banksy. She says, special thanks to you ladies for the wonderful job you do to push the struggle ahead. God bless you. And Beauty comes back to this to say, I think women are playing the background role and also doing everything to get us represented. But Jesse, should they really continue to stay mainly in the background when we know that when women take the lead, definitely things change?
Okay, that's a great question. And before I get that, just want to add to what Eleanor and Mama Amber said. And this is a challenge to the Amazonian men. I know you all want women to participate. You want to see women in the revolution, but somehow we don't see your spouses. Um, so I'm just wondering where our Amazonian wives are.
Oh, Jesse, point of correction before you continue this. I mean, I guess, and thank you, Beauty. She corrected me. She says, I think women are tired of playing the background role. So she would rather say women are tired of playing the background role. Over to you.
And yes, so I was just saying it would take a collaborative effort with the men to bring more women on board. And I think that let's look inwards, look at our homes and try to encourage our wives, our sisters, our friends to join the revolution. And then that will make the work much, much easier for us. And I totally agree here with Beauty. You spoke our minds. I think one of the things that can be discouraging to some women is the fact that when you find yourself in some platforms, in some discussions, for some reason there are peripheral roles that are kind of deemed to be roles that women should play. And these are mostly background roles. And yes, women are tired. The reason is that women didn't join the revolution to be in the background, to be um, providing the tears for the revolution, to be having wakekeepings and carrying out fundraising functions. Women joined
So,
the revolution because
Jesse, let me interrupt you there just slightly. What exactly do the women need to do so that their voices become louder than they are now?
the women need to stand up and speak for themselves and take their place. But here's the thing. Yes, I understand that it is a two-way responsibility. Part of the responsibility is on the women. The other part of the responsibility is on the men that we have in the revolution. So yes, while women might not have been very forthcoming with all their abilities and taking their place loudly, as you say, it is also because they're perceived to not to be loud. The way you treat or the kind of roles or the kind of engagements that you engage women are kind of limits them. So this is what I believe we need to do as a team that while women are making their voices heard, while we're going to try and be there and take our places as we have always done, but we're going to try to do that more forcefully, because the revolution needs us to. We also want the men to kind of create that space and let us do what we can do. Let us showcase what we can do. Do not limit us because you think we are women. Do not keep us from certain conversations because you think these are conversations for men. There is no department or committee or area of the revolution that is male gendered. There is none. And so we want women to be in all phase of conversation. It doesn't matter how tricky they are, it doesn't matter how minor they are, it doesn't matter how strategic they are. We are saying the women should be in these places. Now, I'm not saying that this hasn't happened, but I'm saying that this we can barely quote one or two examples where these have happened, but the rest of the women are kept in background roles when you know that they're a force to reckon with. So we both need to work together to ensure that we do not limit them by keeping them in background committees and background responsible roles when you know that they have more to offer. If anything, how would you know how forceful Ambassador?
Oh, I guess we had some issues there with Jesse. Eleanor, I'll move on straight to you. And my question to you will be, how do we pull this, this cleavages or the punches to make sure that the women actually rise to the occasion? I like to get to you this comment here before we kind of pull up, before I let you respond, because we're just 9 minutes away from the end of this broadcast. So it could be necessary that you get this comment before we pull off. And this is Bridget Abayel. She says a lot of people have pulled back because they were thinking the revolution was right through the pack. And so she says, what can we do to bring back those who were in the revolution and who, for one reason or the other, have, left? And then besides that, there's also this comment from Fear Not. He says, more than 60% of Southern Cameroonians who drank in this revolution in the time of Sisiku Ayuktabe have lost interest now. I hope GMA knows the root cause. Oh, wow. That's an interesting one, a direct indictment to me, Eleanor. So, yeah, he says, I hope Jeremy knows the root cause. And he says a panel of all factions leaders is necessary. So, Eleanor, getting back actually to what we need to do to get back some of those people who, straight out of the liberation movement, especially women, what kind of punches do we need to pull out?
Yes, very good question. Now, we, first of all, I don't know if I said something in this line before, but I think that first of all, we need to establish why they left. As I said, people left for various reasons. Some of it may be tiredness, some of it may be discouragement from what has happened so far. But how do we get them back? We are at a point where people need to see something happen. People need, because of the disappointment, people need to see something positive, meaning that if we promise, if we talk about this conference, if we say we are trying to bring people together and this is what we really, concretely, this is what we really want to do. I personally believe that if we come back with the results that we promised, which also means people need to be able to attend. Inclusivity needs to be expressed. That means people need to register and attend. So if we come back from this conference and say, okay, this is what we promised and these are the results, they may not be exactly what we had anticipated, but at least something in that direction. This will make people say, oh, this is something serious. So maybe it's time to join hands and push further. And we also have to, Jess was saying something in line with this. We also have to look at the fact that women have more challenges than the eye sees. What do I mean? Jess has is stressed on the fact that women need to be inclusive at all levels of the decision making, be it co-creation, be it implementation, be it evaluation, right? Women have to be in all of those stages. But we have to also be considerate to know that we have to give more chances to the women, considering that they have more activities to carry out than the ICs. We have the family to take care of. We have other things to take care of. And in addition to that, we are also participating in the conference. So if a man thinks that or feels that he should not participate in, for example, let me say for the sake of this conversation, in the household activities, right? And things that the woman can still deliver as much as she would deliver or she's expected to deliver. That is, it's not realistic. So the men are supposed to help. One, not only in asking the women to come in or accepting that the women come in, they should also relieve the women from all the other chores that they are doing. As I use the example of household just for the sake of this conversation, but I think you all know what I'm trying to say. So we should be more supportive of the women who also want to join instead of just assuming that or just expecting them to come and everything would run smoothly. This is actually an appeal.
Okay, Eleanor, I guess we have 2 minutes to go, and I'd like us to spend this last 2 minutes perhaps answering this last question that just came, that I just received. Oh, I see we lost Paulette. This question is from Ajam Sonic, and it says, oh, before I get to that question, there's Fiona who says, women have been a force of reckoning in the society. I challenge them to bring all factions together. So I suppose you get that challenge back. Okay, I see Paulette is back. So the challenge being thrown to you, those three smart young ladies here, is to make sure, because they say women have been a force of reckoning in the society. I challenge them to bring all the factions together. So I mean, you definitely will be grappling with that challenge. But the last question that we are taking on this discussion, and I'll let each one of you respond very briefly, is what are some of those tools that women have a better grip on, that can be used to ensure the success of this conference in particular, but the success of our quest for the freedom of the Southern Cameroons in general. So what are some of these tools? Let's begin with you, Paulette, who, I mean, we lost you briefly. You are welcome back. So what tools do you have in your hands to ensure that, we kind of federate the women back so strongly into this movement? Paulette? Oh, I think she has some sound issues. Let's begin with you, Eleanor. Oh no, let me start with Jesse, and then we'll end up with you. Yes, Jesse.
The question is the tools we have. Did
Yes.
I get it right? Oh, where can I begin? We've got them all. Okay. All right. First of all, let's look at it this way. Women are nurturers, women are community builders, women are the backbone on which our communities rest. Basically, our entire livelihood depends on women. Now, what does that mean? It means that when a woman is in a situation where she has to decide, it is often very selfless. It is often a decision that is for the broader good. Women look beyond themselves and look at what is beneficial to the entire community. All of us have mothers, aunties, sisters. Look at how they relate. They always look at what's good for the family before they look at what is good for them. Basically, saying if a woman is in a position to look at how the community is supposed to be run, they will look at what is best for the community. We are nurturers, we are natural negotiators, we are natural defenders. A woman would kill anything to defend her own. That's what we are. In as much as we are the ones that nurture, we are the ones that defend, we are the ones that will protect. And when push comes to shove, We are the ones that will walk 1,000 miles barefoot to get you a crumb of bread to eat. That's what women are. We are formidable. There isn't a tool that I can specify, but I can say that we have all the tools that the revolution needs to get to its desired end. There isn't a tool that we are lacking. I know people think that we are emotional beings. Yes, we are emotional beings because we are nurturers. We hate to see people suffer. But we will protect and we will endure that suffering if it is for the greater good of the people. Women have shown this over and over in different societies over different centuries. That is who we are. And all I am saying is that we should not limit us. There are no specific rules or boxes that we fit into. There are no specific skill sets we have or don't have that we have to. And while I'm not saying that we are experts in everything, I am saying that we can learn that which we do not know. We can nurture the skills that we do not have because we have that ability, we have that willingness, and we have that capability. So just give us a chance to be that which we were born to be and not be afraid of what we will be, because I sometimes I feel like there is such a strong man syndrome that people don't want strong women syndrome in the mix. And this comes from a
Okay,
patriarchal.
Jesse, you have 15 seconds to wrap up.
So I'm saying we don't have specific tools. We have all the tools. Thank you.
And don't be so hard on men. That's why you make them sometimes begin to feel that you are so iron-like, and it becomes like, come on, let's just rock it together. Don't you think,
We
Elena?
are.
No,
Okay,
I
Eleanor,
do agree with you.
I'll interrupt you because we have a caller on the line. So let's take
Okay.
this call. Yes, hello?
Yes. Good morning, Brother Koro.
Yes, thank you very much. So who is this talking, please? And where are you calling from?
This is Kwame. I'm calling from California.
Okay. Kwame?
And I really want to ask a question and a comment to the ladies.
They're listening to you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, the beautiful ladies of Southern Cameroons. Jesse, thank you very much. I always like listening to you. Very eloquent and sharp. Two things. Jeremy, the last time on your presentation, I think I heard you say Informcator apparently came from Northwest. And that probably, I think, in the Southwest, there are no funds. I don't think we have funds. And so for Mkete to have been a fund and referred to as fund up till the time he's dying, then it's so ironic that he's talking against Northwest. Meanwhile, he himself is from Northwest. If that is so, when people want to defend their stomach, they can say anything and then they seem to forget everything. He has probably forgotten that he is from Northwest. And what a better way of the slave in the house calling for division or calling for others to be executed when he himself is a slave. Like the women, as Jesse said, they make 51% of the population. I don't really think they need to beg, because if it comes to show, if the push comes to show or show comes to push, if it's voting, they are 51 times more than the men. They can vote and they can make their voices heard. So I am thinking the ladies in Liberia did something very wonderful. They refused their husbands their beds, and that forced them to the negotiating table. The women can take the nuclear option too. Unfortunately, how they call him, Chris Anu doesn't have a woman now, but I think he has a girlfriend. And Sako may not have a woman because I hear his woman is a francophone. So the woman of Ayabacho and the woman of the others can force them to the table without giving them sharing their bed with them again, unless they have concubines. But those concubines can still do that without giving them their bed. And let's see whether they will not come to the table. Another thing I'll say is, we have been talking, everything we think about is about finance. And if these groups that are going to Canada, even if it is the women's group, if they come with one purse, one account that people will be able to contribute to, even if no other people contribute, members of their own groups, if they contribute to that one purse, something meaningful will happen. That is my comment. And
Yeah, thank
I
you
don't know
very
whether that's a question, but
thank you very much, Kwame. But what you are proposing is a rebellion against, and that kind of rebellion, come on, man, come on, man.
It
Okay,
worked.
Jesse, before Kwame came in to propose the rebellion, you had the floor.
No, I think Eleanor did it. I had just finished.
Yes,
Yes,
Jesse.
Jamie was about to ask me a question.
I think he
Jamie, you were
wanted you
about
to
to ask
ask.
me a question.
It was the same
Yes.
question, Eleanor,
Jesse, the
about
question that I asked you, I mean, I simply reiterated a question that was asked here about the tools that women have. And that question is even added by Beauty J, who says she believes that women should not only be seen as fixers of problems created by men, but she says
awesome.
if women are at the decision making table, there will be little or no problem to fix, and it will save lives and time. Anyway, she calls for people to join the conference and get there. But who are actually at your final word, Jason?
Oh, so my final word is that the upcoming conference is a must attend if you're a true Southern Cameroonian, if you're an Ambazonian, if you are for the flag, for motherland, if you are cognizant of the fact that we have lost thousands of young men, young women, old men, and old women. We've had our sisters raped, have babies killed, and we have thousands incarcerated in dungeons in La Republic. If you are cognizant of that and you also understand that we are a people and we have certain rights and we're just fighting for those rights, and we want to see an end to this, so it doesn't cost us more than it needs to, then please join the conference. A special appeal to all women is that it doesn't matter what you believe at the moment. It doesn't matter what you think. Just join the conference and let's have a conversation. Let's find a way forward. Whatever our disagreement, let us come into that conference, find a way forward, work together because we have more that unite us than that divide us. So let us focus on those things that unite us. Let us focus on those common synergies and do what we have to do, what we've taken upon ourselves to do for our homeland. Those on the fence,
Thank you
I
very
would
much,
only say history is a good
Jesse.
judge of
Yeah, we really have to go. Eleanor, 15
decisions. So,
seconds to, put, I mean, a beautiful dressing on this very interesting moment. What is your final word to Amazonian women, Eleanor?
Thank you so much.
What are you promising those who will not rise back to the occasion?
to rebel.
Um, I don't want to threaten anybody. If I promise something, it will sound like a threat. I don't want to go take that route because we women, when you threaten us, we protest.
Yes,
So, but I just want to appeal, as Jessie has said, to echo her words to say that this thing cannot be done by a few people. Join the train. Let's do this together. It will make our journey easier. So thank you so much again, Comrade JMA. And we also applaud the men for the work that you've been doing so far. This cannot only be done by women.
of
So
course.
it's speaking to the both genders, men, women, please join the train and let's do this together. Thank you so much, Comrade JMA, for the panel, for the show. It's been very interesting and
Thank,
inspiring.
thank you very much, ladies. But as we are parting ways, I really want you to promise me right here that you're not going to join that rebellion that Kwame was talking about. Use other approaches. Well, we are already facing a lot of rebellion, so don't bring more.
Well,
Or
you
Jesse,
may
what do you think? So, thank you so much, ladies.
if you push
Thank you
women to
so
the
much for
wall.
your time, and thank you for setting aside time to participate on the, this very important show. And as we are wrapping, As I'm closing the curtains on this show, oh my goodness, I'd like to invite all Ambazonians, all Southern Cameroonians to make sure stay attentive to everything that's been said about this conference. You have questions, ask us those questions. Don't hesitate. If you have anything you don't understand, don't hesitate to rush back to us with questions. We will always be available to take these questions, and we will always be available to provide explanations. So, my people of Ambazonia, it was a very great moment sharing with you. We will continue to be here, but don't forget, we are all in this together. Failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. Always remind yourself about this, because when you do, it will make you see the need to continue to fight, see the need to come back from your haters, see the need to continue to contribute when there is need to, and there is always need to contribute. Until we meet again, I guess in about 48 hours, to God be the glory.